Hi everybody, it's Jen here doing my fourth Project Life process video. This is the second video for the month of February, and if you haven't seen the first one or my Kill a Kit video, I'm actually using up all the scraps from my Hip Kit Club February kit. So I'm getting down to the nitty gritty here on this layout. I actually do pull in a bit more from my stash, but I actually did a pretty good job of just sticking with the kit and using it up. And I sure didn't have much to put away in my stash this time. So that was awesome. I like doing that. I have a pretty big stash, so it's nice to use up my kits and not add to it too much. Here I'm just going through the cards that I cut with my scraps. I decided to go a little bit different with my spread this time and go with the bright colors. Last time I went not more muted, but I didn't use the lime green so much and the blue, so I decided to use those this time. I'm just working on trying to balance this out color-wise, and I'm cutting into the 6x6 paper pad now because what I had left in the scraps just wasn't working for me. So I'm using that piece there for my two filler spots, and just working on trying to balance this out a little bit. So I used that really bold paper in the top two corners, which is going to be where I put my date, and I have used 3 full-size 4x6, and I'm just going to embellish on top of those. And here I'm just cutting up another piece of that 6x6 paper pad and using, I think it's like a ledger sort of style paper, just is a bit calmer because this is a pretty bright layout. So this layout, I'm just showing you there what I have left for embellishments. This layout, I'm just going to warn you, it was a bit of a crazy mosh. I kept hitting stuff with my elbow, or things kept getting picked up when I was trying to work on it. So I may not try to do both weeks at the same time. I may lay it out like this and figure out embellishments and then take a week away and just work on 1 week so I have a bit more space. As you can see, this is the max width I can get right now on my iPhone with where I have it hooked up. And so I didn't want to move anything out of the camera range, but you can see I have, it's almost exactly the size of this 24x12 spread. So yeah, I apologize. You're going to see me get frustrated a few times. Although I don't know if you're going to be able to tell with my hands. I do have a little incident with some stickers, though. You're going to definitely tell that I'm getting irritated. So anyways, I've got all my cards laid out. This, I'm just pulling out some twine. This is close to my heart medium-size organizer. I have 2 medium-sized ones, 2 small ones, and a large one that I have on my cart from IKEA. And I have a lot of my supplies in that cart. Almost all of my embellishments are either in the boxes, or I have the large one sitting on the top open with lots of embellishments on book rings. And you'll see when I pull in alphas or things like that, sometimes you'll see that they're on book rings. So anyways, here what I did is I stapled that piece of twine on, and I'm using that So Lovely on this picture. And you can see I have almost completely used up that chipboard sheet. I really like these chipboard sheets. It gives you a lot of different images, and they're a bit dimensional, so I like adding those to my layouts along with the flatter die cuts. So I think I only had like 3 pieces left or 4 pieces left. I think I had some numbers, and then I had the little typewriter-y thing. That's it. The only reason I had that left is because it was quite big and it was pink, and so I never found anywhere to put it. It was kind of too big to go on Project Life, although I could have probably put out one of those date cards or something like that. So anyways, these 2 filler cards here that I'm working on, I just cut out the center from the 4x4 cards that were on a cutout sheet that we got, and I'm just matting this one on some of the lime green to just pull that in a little bit. I have to say, these filler cards, when I'm finished, I'm not really thrilled with them. As I said, I was trying to stick with my kit and just use what was in it. And yeah, I don't know. I think I just ran out of scrapping mojo or something with these. But you know what? That's sort of life, that you're not always thrilled with everything that you produce, and it's fine. It's just, I don't know. Wasn't thrilled with them. I kind of view each one of these spots, each one of the cards in Project Life almost as like a little mini layout. So I think when you have that many mini layouts in one spot, if you're less than thrilled with only two of them, that's probably pretty good average. So, but yeah, you'll see anyways. I'm less than thrilled with them. I think I tap away at them and I just decide to leave them because yeah, I'm kind of done. This spread took me quite a long time, and I've sped it up quite a bit here. And you'll see it hasn't quite started yet. Everything's shifting all over the place on me, and I was just getting super frustrated. So anyways, so here I'm just working away on these cards. I've cut out another one of those 4x4 cards, so it's actually a little banner underneath that computer monitor, and it was a good spot for journaling. And then I'm just sticking on a little die cut that I thought kind of looked good in that spot. And now I am shopping around, and these are actually embellishments from 2 kits ago. They were in the Heidi Swap pack, I believe from the January kit, or it might have even been the December kit. I can't remember. And I kind of, after it sat on my desk for 2 months, I'm done. So I'm just last chance, I guess, see if I can use them. I've mentioned a couple videos, I really struggle with these vellum pieces. I just find they're hard to see. But I did get to use quite a few of them on this layout, so I was happy. And then now I've put them away in my stash. So that whole little glass platter there, the divided thing, I've put all of that away in my stash now. I figured, okay, it's time to move on to new stuff. I get kind of bored looking at the same things over and over. But I do believe I used quite a few of these on here, which made me happy. So now I also remembered I have this washi tape, and so I've decided to shop that around a bit too, and I'm going to use it as sort of a landing place for my date on these top two date cards. And I'm going to play around because these are the Heidi Swap ones, and so they have 3 different kinds. So you're going to see me ripping off the ones I don't want to use, and I'm just sticking them to the side of the desk. And whatever ones I didn't use by the end, by that point they were pretty mangled from being on the edge of my desk. They did end up going in the trash, but I used quite a few of them as I was trying to rip them off. Okay, so here you're going to see this is the beginning of me getting super frustrated because everything just kept shifting around and getting picked up. Hi, sorry, I got interrupted by kids and I completely forget what I was talking about. And iMovie had an update, and I'm kind of afraid to go back and listen and worry that I'm going to screw this up. So I'll just go from here. Pretty sure I was talking about washi tape. So yeah, I'm just shopping it around and putting it on quite a few spots just as an accent, and glad that I've been using it. And then this is going to go in my stash as well. And here, because things kept shifting on me, I've decided to start sticking some of these vellum pieces down. It actually doesn't look as bad so far on the video as it felt in real life with all this stuff moving around and shifting. So that's good. But I can tell you I was getting pretty frustrated, so I will probably go back to just doing one 12 by 12 spread at a time on the video and then pulling the other one in. And ran out of staples in my tiny attacher. I find for those little, I've been calling them vellum pieces. They're not really vellum, are they? They're like acetate. Sorry, you knew what I was talking about, hopefully. I like to just staple them on because it's hard to hide the glue, and I don't have like vellum, tape, which would probably work on these little acetate pieces as well. So I just like to staple them on. So there I've used one of those that says hello, and then I've put my own alphas on there, and it says oh hello, as my son had a allergic reaction to some essential oil stuff. that I had put on him because he was catching a cold. And yeah, it was pretty nasty and he didn't feel it. Okay, oh, here we go. I don't have any bees and I'm trying to spell out February twice. So I'm looking and trying to see, do I have enough of the numbers? And then I'm walking away now, and there's my giant bin of thickers. You can't even see the whole bin, it's so big. And you can see me going through and trying to figure out which ones might work. Number wise, is there enough F's and E's and B's? So I'm just going through all the black ones. I just thought black would look good on there, and I settled on this sketchy one, which I think looks quite good. And there you go. No E's. Which I didn't notice. And so, yeah, I turned it off and went and searched. So you didn't have to watch me search again. And I found a different one. And you're going to see me have another small hissy fit, which is kind of fun to watch on the camera in a second here. So I decided to use these sketchy ones for the numbers, and then that other quite old font for the months. And yeah, you're going to see me figure out in a second here that the second one is actually February and March, and I hadn't pulled them out. Oh, I didn't have a little hissy fit with my hands. Maybe that was off camera. I know I certainly had a little hissy fit when I realized that I had to pull the thickers out. So I don't know about you, but thickers are awesome. I love them. I obviously have a million of them, but they are a pain in the butt to put back into the plastic sleeve. The sleeves rip or the stupid thickers fall off, and the tile ones are the worst, but and they seem to be getting a bit better now, and the foam ones especially usually stick pretty good until they start getting a bit older. But yeah, I was less than thrilled to have to pull those out again. And there, I don't even put them away. I just throw them to the side and deal with them later. So dates are done. I'm back to sticking things down because everything keeps shifting all over. Oh, and I'm pointing out to you there that that photo of me scrapbooking actually has the same 4x4 piece in it that I actually put on this layout. So I don't know. I guess I spotted that and thought it was funny or something. So yeah, a lot of the rest of this is going to be me sticking things down. That sheet of labels that you saw on there are actually print and cut labels. And I had somebody over here visiting, and I was actually showing her how to use the Silhouette for print and cut because she had just gotten one. And we were talking, and I did at the first set fine, and then the second set we were talking, and I hadn't noticed that I had had an issue with the Silhouette and that it wasn't working, and I had already closed the file, so then you can't match it right back up again perfectly, right, once you've already printed it off. So that was super annoying. So I have to cut them all out by hand, and I am not the biggest fan of fussy cutting, nor am I actually very good at it. So, but you will see they've also been sitting on my desk for ages. I was almost out of the die cuts. I had hardly any labels left from the kit. So I decided to suck it up and start using those labels for my journaling on here. So here's where I decide to just use those little acetate arrows, and I don't like how it looks. So that every single day looks okay, but that this is life, I think it says, with the two arrows facing either direction. I don't like that at all. I think if I just left it without the arrows, but whatever, I've already made staple holes. I'm not going to pull it up, and I couldn't think of anything else to add, so I just left it alone. And you can see here how things are sliding all over the place. I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. I'm off camera doing something. Oh, I was looking in my drawer, my washi tape drawer. I wanted navy on this card just as an extra sort of border strip. So found some in my stash. And there I stuck the already taped photo down, and so it actually wrecked the top of that photo of my kitchen, which is a weird photo, I know, but I'll explain. So I had to cover it up, and then I wasn't actually all that thrilled with that photo either, but as necessity. Yeah, so here I'm spelling out Arizona. My husband had to go on a trip a conference in Arizona. How terrible that you have to go to Arizona in February, hey? Although it actually rained almost the whole time he was there. He was really looking forward to nice hot weather, and it started getting nice the day he left. So he didn't really get too much nice weather. So here I've decided, let's get this rub on down, and it was a really big one, and I shopped it around on quite a few of my layouts, but it was just I think the size of it, unless I used it in a title, I felt like it was just too big for my style. So here I'm using it on some white space, ocean space of this photo that my husband took on the ferry. He had to go over to Vancouver, and there's an hour-and-a-half long ferry ride from where I live to Vancouver, and he got a really nice photo. It's hard to tell from the video, but we can see Mount Baker, in Washington State, and it was a really clear day, and you can see it really well in the photo. You just can't tell on the video. So that's why I was okay with covering up most of the ocean, because he was actually taking the photo of how clear Mount Baker was to show me. Okay, so here I'm trying to get some of that glue off the top, and I think I pull out one of those little adhesive square things to try to get it off, and it sort of got it off, but not great. That was just like a totally dumb move that I set my photo down on top of other stuff, and I was lucky that it didn't wreck anything else. So I was kind of at a loss at what to do with that one. So here I'm just writing right on the photo again, like I did on that bottom left one with a white gel pen. And I got out my better gel pen this time. I used my old one in my last video, and it didn't show up so hot. So here I am pulling out those print and cuts, and I actually just stopped it, and because it's really boring and I didn't want to talk for forever while I cut those all out. So you'll see they're laying all over the place, using those for little bits of journaling. That one I missed cutting it out before I turned the video back on. So I'm just fiddling around with these ones. Was having a bit of a struggle on how I wanted them. For some reason I decided I wanted one as an accent. I don't know why. But yeah, I just fight with it a little bit. I find with Project Life, some people are different. I don't write a lot. Usually the photos are fairly self-explanatory. So I don't usually need a ton of room. And so these print and cut labels that I found in a whole bunch of different colors, and I will hopefully remember, I'll put a link to where I found them on this video, are perfect for me for Project Life. And they're good for scrapbook layouts as well, but they're perfect because I usually don't want to say too much, but I like having the little spot, and all the different colors means they're always going to match. And one last little rub on there, and I don't think I wrote anything on there. It just says high voltage smile. That was my son, and we were sitting at a Starbucks waiting for my other son while he was at school that day. And now I'm shopping around some of those remaining die cuts. All I had left were the really, really bright multicolored ones, and yeah, not too many of them were hitting my fancy, because this is already really bright and multicolored, and I just didn't want to add too much more, so I was going a bit simpler with embellishments this time. I kind of went the other way around last time. Oh yeah, and here I've pulled out a nice green washi tape, trying to cover up where the top of that photo's kind of wrecked from me setting my already adhesed, is that a word? Already adhesed photo on top of it. So I won't do that again. Well, no, I lie. I probably will do that again, because I'm sure I've done it in the past. I'll try not to do that again. And here, yeah, I'm trying to cover it up, and I'm not totally thrilled with that, but I really didn't want to go dive into my stash. I just wanted to use it up. So that's what happened. So I'm starting to write my journaling. That usually means I'm getting pretty close to the end. And what I've done again this time is instead of taking photos, because it's still pretty gray, is I've put me showing you on camera fairly quickly close-ups of each of the cards. And I've left it on normal speed so that you can see it. And if you would like to see photos of these layouts, I should have a blog post up fairly soon with photos as well, and some close-ups. I just need a less gray day. It's been really rainy here the last week, and so it makes it quite hard to take photos in the natural light when the natural light is so dark. So anyways, I think I'm getting pretty close to being done here. Can't think if there's anything else. Oh, I was going to tell you about that kitchen photo, so I'll tell you really quick since I have a second here. My husband was away, and he's going to be away for a week, and so I always find when, you know, he goes somewhere, it kind of throws our routine off a little bit. And whenever my routine gets thrown off, or I'm upset, or something's going on in life, I clean, which is probably a really good habit to have. So I cleaned the kitchen and it looked nice, and so I actually just took a picture of it, and so I just wrote on there exactly why I took this picture of my kitchen. But yeah, it was like a deep down scrub, and it took me like 3 hours. Not that my kitchen is that disgusting, but you know, I wiped down cupboards and floors, and I did all of that stuff that you don't necessarily do every day, and so it took me quite a while to get it done. So I am just working on using up the last of these enamel dots. I was fairly successful with that, and I'm pretty sure this is going to call it a day. I will let you have a look at my close-ups as they come up, and I will stop jabbering away at you for 21 minutes. And hope you enjoyed and have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.